Hello and welcome back. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. In my most recent video, it is me defeating a 2000 rated player. However, unfortunately for him, it ended in just a catastrophic debacle where he tried to do some tactics and he lost his queen for absolutely no reason. So hopefully today's 10-minute game will be slightly more enigmatic and we're going to actually be able to get a position we can learn from, because the other one is just a one move tactic. Of course those are important. What the heck? Where is this guy from? Doesn't say. But the first thing that you always do when you're facing an opponent is you check. He's not very good at bullet. He's not very good at blitz. He's quite good at rapid. So I'm quite good at bullet and not so good at blitz, but I'm quite good at bullet. So what I always try and do is just keep an equal position and go for the end game. If there's like some cool sacrifices or anything, now I believe here that I have to push the pawn. I explained in my previous video that this knight sacrifice is not something that you really want to get involved in, at the drawback of he can just go for my light square bishop immediately. And so I think that the best move is to just completely allow it. You scoot back and you just let this happen. If I scoot forward and he hits me, then I scoot back and he hits me, then I scoot back and then he hits me. Is that good for me? I mean, he'll have a weird pawn structure, that's for sure. So let's just do it. Let's just do it. Okay, he's going to do it this way. Then he can grab my light square bishop. Cool. We recapture towards the center because this is far better. Like, doing this would weaken this, and then this is not a great open file for my rook. So we're going to just pin the knight. I feel like that's what we have to do here. If he jumps forward, I mean, he can't, obviously, because we're attacking the queen, but we don't really want to allow something where his knight jumps forward and is attacking this pawn. But now I'm ready to castle, so that's not really a fear. I also don't need to push this pawn to prep this pin, because this is not going to happen. And basically, this pin, it just happens in literally every single game, so always be aware of it. And sometimes pushing the pawn is the easiest thing to do to avoid all of that. But as his bishop, I don't know if this is technically considered fan-ketoed. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Fan-ketoed. His bishop's over here, so he's never pinning my knight like this, so I don't have to worry about pushing this pawn. Okay? This guy is completely locked out of this side of the board. So this pin, all of a sudden, is a little bit more scary for our opponent. And my options are basically as follows. Castle or scoot my queen forward and castle this way. We'll definitely get a more exciting game if I decide to castle opposite. But let's just be principled and play some normal chess. Probably what we'll see is castle. Okay, he hits the bishop. Maybe scooting back all the way was the correct move, because now he can hit me. And then just he gets the bishop pair for completely for free. Even this pawn push is a little bit scary for me. However, still a completely equal position. So I'm not really panicking about nothing. And probably what I would be considering here, scoot the knight back, push the pawn, and go for this pawn break. Or just immediately go for this pawn break, where it works out in the favor of me. Although, this pawn is doing a great job of defending this. So we're going to scoot forward. If we see this, oh boy, am I in a situation. This is absolutely the move he wants to play. Then he just moves the queen and castles this way, and then we have an opposite side castling, attacking game of chess. So I'm fairly certain I have to recapture. Okay. I can go like this, and all of a sudden I'm attacking this. I can also jump this knight forward. If take, I mean, it opens up the position a tad bit for me. But I think just taking a step back is what I need to do. What we're really, really worried about is some sort of queen move. Some sort of queen move where he's able to get his queen over here. So I probably have to play a little bit carefully here to be completely fair. Does this make sense? Oh, it doesn't make sense because I can't make that move because I'll be in check. Does bringing my knight this direction? We're doing this. I'm so scared. I'm absolutely about to just get attacked right now. Absolutely. And this knight is the worst knight in the world. Okay, so he castles opposite. Probably a very principled move. I have this pawn break, but it doesn't work because this guy is still being attacked. He's just going to double up. He is just going to double up and eat me for dinner. What on earth am I supposed to do? Push? Here, 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 then push? I feel like that's so slow. Because I'm really worried about this simple idea of this. Then he just jumps in. He removes the defender of this, and I just get checkmated in spectacular fashion. But we're just going to push forward and go for this. I don't really know if that's a good move, but if I can open up any side of the board, like if I can just make some pawn breaks over here, I'll feel a lot better about this position. And I still cannot push this pawn, but I will push this pawn. So I'll go boom, boom. Take here. Then his knight gets in. Oh my gosh. I think I'm just cooked. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. And I still can't even push this. Oh boy, I'm in a situation. I am in a situation. I can scoot over and then go for this. I'm basically thinking like try and go for some sort of attack of my own. Or just really get ready to defend. But stepping here is probably just a terrible idea. I don't know what to do. What am I supposed to do in this position? We're going here. I literally don't know what to do. I'm going to then push this pawn and try and go for this pawn break. Okay, so he's just going to double. It makes sense. And my attack is just way too slow. And his two bishops are just in here. Like, I feel like I'm already lost. There's probably like just a genius computer line that saves everything, and I just don't see it. Because this is not going to work. Here, here, here. Push. Here. Take. Take. Here. He wins the knight. I step out. We're just going to go for it. I'm completely cooked. I'm completely cooked. So what we're going to do, we're going to scoot this board to the side of the screen, and we're going to pull up Stockfish, and we're going to just save the win. Because that's what you do when you're in a bad position. Just kidding. What do I do? I'm so cooked. I'm so cooked. Nothing to be done. This is happening. That is happening. And it's not even really defended all that great. And I can't escape because this stupid dark square bishop. If I step over, same situation. Here, take, here, and then I'm just checkmated. Boom, boom. We push in the center. I have no idea what to think, bro. We just step forward. I have no idea what I'm trying to even do. Here, here. Does that save anything? Here. That actually temporarily confused things. Because this knight defends the checkmate. So, like, you can grab this. Take. Take here. And then I jump forward. But then you just stay on the... This temporarily blocked some of the stuff. We jump forward. We attack the rook. This is definitely a thing, but hopefully I can just like make some moves. If he scoots back, I've got this fork that won't even work, I don't think. Yeah, I've got this fork, but he could just like here, check. I have to play it, right? Checkmate is defended. This bishop is temporarily blocked by his own dude. And I'm forking the 2 high value pieces. I've got 1 minute 49. Okay. I mean, we just grab this, right? Uh-huh. But then there's this, which is something we need. We slide in. I'm going to lose some stuff, but this is going to, if I trade off these queens, I still can't even get out of this ridiculous position. Get rid of the queen. I mean, jump forward, put my knight in the middle, attack the rook. Then I go for this pawn push, and that's how my dude gets out. He forked his rook. Oh my goodness. Grab the rook. I'm just doing this so I can move. Go ahead and grab this. I'm scooting forward. Now he's got the bishop pair, but I've got the rooks involved. I don't even know what to think about this game of chess. He completely threw that away. Okay, so that hangs this, and he resigns. I'm a little bit shook right now. Look at the state of this board. What did he do? What was he thinking? I don't even know. I don't know. I don't even think that I played very accurately with the defense. Like, if we go back to here. Okay, take. Why? He could have just done this. Right? I mean, yes, I get this, but I feel like your attack is way scarier. He didn't have to worry about all this stuff over here. I think he should have just gone for this, because this blocked off his bishop temporarily, which really saved me. We jump in, we fork the pieces. We go for the queen trade, we lose a piece, and then he just hops into a fork with 5 minutes on the clock. And then we just like finally get out of this pin. Oh my god, this bishop was so annoying this entire game. Let's check it with the computer. I think that I just got lucky. I don't even know how to process all of that. So let's go to the analysis and I'll see you over there. And here we are in the analysis. And boys, I have no idea how I won that game. I had no business making that comeback. It was completely cooked. We burned the bacon. And so if we take a look at this graph, the graph tells you the same story. Absolutely cooked. We're equal. Everything's going good. And then your boy starts slipping. And then he slips some more. And then he slips some more and cracks his head. And it's -3. It's -4. It's -5. I have a -5 position. And somehow he makes a blunder. I'm slightly bringing it back. And he throws it away to a draw. And so what I think happened is he just full tilt. He made a blunder and he was like, I lost the game. And so sometimes after you make a blunder, you got to just take a deep breath and think, okay, we're going to finish this game. It's hard to do, but there's a lot of times where you have like a significant advantage and you throw it away to a draw and you feel like you lost the game, but it's really just a draw and you still have winning chances. And so I think he just completely tilted. And so miraculously, I have a 90% accurate game, which is incredible because I believe that all of that is after this moment right here. Because nothing before that was that accurate. And so we have 2 inaccuracies, 2 mistakes, 1 blunder, and our opponent 4 inaccuracies, 1 mistake, 2 blunders, 83% accurate, which is absolutely remarkable. How do you play 83% accurate? I mean, I had a -5 position, whatever. At the end, I had a very high advantage as well. And so let's hop on right into it. So something I can explain right off the bat is this pawn push. You would like to just develop your knight, or the other knight, I mean, if you do this, then he takes this pawn for free. So you're not ever going to do that. But if you bring this knight, he can sacrifice, you take back, and then this fork comes in. You have to scoot back. He takes, you take. The best move is bringing out the bishop, but a lot of people just attack your bishop. Long story short, it's not good for white, so you can't do that. So what you got to do is you got to push this pawn, solidify the center, then you can develop this knight. Or you can play slow and push this pawn because you don't want this light square bishop to get trapped. Our opponent knows how to play chess, so he is going to trap our light square bishop. I don't know how to play chess, so I don't know why I tried to avoid the inevitable. Like, scooting here simply is just going to get attacked by a pawn, then you scoot back, and you get hit with the other pawn, then you scoot back, then he takes you. Whatever, it was inevitable. And all of these pawn pushes, if anything, was advantageous for our opponent because now he has a beautiful diagonal for his light square bishop. Okay? He takes. I mean, this is kind of a beginner thing, but take towards the center, okay? If you can take towards the center, take towards the center. If you take with this pawn becomes weak. This is the open file. It's not as good. When you take like this, you have all of your pawns together, and then this is the open file, which is a little bit better. Definitely if he castles this way, that's more important, okay? So we take, develop, bring the knight, and then castle, and he hits us. And right here was just a huge mistake, and I noticed it in the game, and I said it. Like, I scooted back, but the same deal. I'm just going to get hit, scoot back, and then here comes the knight. This dark square bishop is a huge thorn in my position. It's just looking straight at my king. It's pinning this pawn, so this pawn's not actually doing anything. And there's not a great way for me to get rid of it in any type of way. So it's just going to like live on this diagonal forever. What I needed to do was just confront him. If you don't take me, cool, you're off the diagonal. If you do take me, cool, I lose the pawns, but I get an open file. Huge mistake on my part. Huge mistake. And so we get hit, we scoot back, and then I follow my mistake with one more, even more grave mistake. I push the pawn one square, which basically makes a hook into my position. Now he can push forward, and it's a direct confrontation. He's going to take my knight, or he's going to take my pawn. The best move that I was supposed to play is let him take my pawn. And then we say, okay, the H-file is closed. I still have my defending pieces. I can kind of scoot up and hide like this. I can bring a rook, and it would have been more or less, I mean, not equal. I'm losing. I got a -1 disadvantage, but it's better than what I did. The way you can avoid all of that, push the pawn 2 squares. And I'm so afraid to do this because I'm like, oh, this pawn can't be defended by another pawn. But if he pushes, I jump back and everything stays clogged. Okay? Like, yes, my knight's going to have a really hard time getting back in the game, but he's going to have a hard time checkmating me. Okay? So I needed to do that. The alternative is if he takes, I can just take back, and yet again, the H-file remains closed, and that is the key thing in this position. When I allow this, I take, and I just open the file with tempo. He has tempo on my knight. My knight has to do something, and the file is open. And so I should have realized all of this when he hadn't castled. Like, I needed to bring back the dark square bishop, and just I played horribly in this part of the game. We come back, and I am completely cooked. I have a -3 disadvantage in this position. I'm cooked. And so instead of making good moves, what I decided to do is push a pawn 1 square on the opposite side of the board. Like, I am literally about to get murdered over here, and I'm like, let me push a pawn 1 square. And then to make matters worse, I do it again. I literally push a pawn 1 square. I'm about to get destroyed over here. He gets ready to double these rooks. So like any principled chess player, I push a pawn 1 square, because why not? That's what you're supposed to do. He doubles the rooks, and then yet again, we push a pawn 1 square. It's like he has a shotgun pointing at my head, and I'm like, wait a minute, bro, let me tie my shoes. So yet again, we push a pawn 1 square. Now this one actually sort of made sense. It took me a lot of moves to actually get there, but this one makes sense because you can't take with the bishop. I take your bishop. And if you take with the pawn, your bishop is slightly blocked off. And so he takes my bishop, I recapture, and this is my opponent's blunder of the game. Just take this knight, bro. Just take the knight. Absolutely. Like, don't worry about this. You don't need to worry about this bishop being such a good attacking piece. What you need to worry about is opening up this H-file and just completely destroying me. Still -4. He makes a mistake. I get the pawn, and I'm still losing. But he steps back to a fatal fork. Just a simple 1-move fork. Two high-value pieces. I'm getting one of them. He scoots, and I take. And I think that our opponent just full tilt in this position and was like, I lost the game. If you can see up there, it's all zeros. Completely equal. One other thing. If you can take a piece for free with 1 move or 2 moves, what's better? Most likely just taking it with 1 move. For whatever reason, he decided to win this knight, he had to make 2 moves. I don't know why he elected to do that, but this gave me the opportunity to finally develop my queen, and it's worse than that. I'm going to trade off your most attack. Like, your queen is what's going to checkmate me. Without your queen, you're going to have a hard time checkmating me, plus I'm up material. So he wins, I get rid of the queen, and then all of a sudden, this rook is not checkmating or scaring anybody. This open file, all of a sudden, is like not important. The only way that it's important is if I push this pawn disappears, and then there's this checkmate. That's the only way, but that's not going to happen. I bring the knight forward, and a simple fork yet again. He literally just did not know how the knights move. That's why he got rid of them in the beginning. He was like, I'll keep the bishop pair because those knights are tricky. And so, I mean, I don't even know what to think here. We push a pawn because my simple idea is move the king up and get out of this gosh darn pin, okay? Get out of the pin. And so he takes here. I scoop my king up. We are now away from this dastardly bishop. He goes here. That stopped defending this pawn. And he resigned in this position, but it's even worse than that. I could just take. I could just simplify and have a triple stack of pawns, and I promise you, I'm just going to push this. You're going to have to take, and I take. And then all of a sudden, my king is coming to eat this pawn. My rook is just going to get involved. I'm going to win this. There's like a 60% chance that I win this every single time. I'm just kidding. But either way, that was, I don't know what to think. 2 wins in a row that just came from losing positions, but that's just chess. You got to play it through the end. And I gotta let you guys know, there was even a moment in that video, I edited it out. I reached and was going to stop recording and resign. And I didn't. I literally sat there for like 2 minutes. I was like, I'm cooked. I stop recording, resign. We'll try another one. And I kind of was like, you know what? Let's just finish it because who knows? And here we are. 17. Had to do some quick math. 1917 is my new rating. And so thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure. I mean, not the most convincing victory of all, but I mean, we got it done. So thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Don't forget to subscribe. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.